Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be destroying this 40-minute garbage video. And get your popcorn ready, because I'm gonna split this one response video into probably 3 or maybe even 4 if I'm angry enough. And let's begin.
Nine out of 10. Tech radar.
What? You you just made my brain malfunction. You you can't even. And so you can't even wait one level before trying to open that. That's not on the game. That's on you. You're just so dumb. Like that's really dumb.
9 out of 10. IGN.
There's a button prompt, and if you don't see that prompt, don't hit that button. Just maybe if you press S one time, you'll see the button prompt.
94 out of 100. PC gamer.
Oh, you do have it. So just hit S one time, and you'll go back.
9.5 out of 10. PlayStation Universe.
You're supposed to interact with something that if you move the mouse just a little bit, you'll see it. And there would be a button prompt if you could activate it.
5 out of 5. The Guardian.
Well, maybe if you look at the things that you're supposed to put your central batteries in that you know about because you had to do that to power up the ship, to power up the Fortress of Doom.
5 out of 5. Digital Spy.
You're trying to get that at the start of the game when you haven't even when you haven't even beaten one Slayer Gate. Not one Slayer Gate, and you're trying to do that. That destroys your credibility as a game reviewer.
2 out of 14. 21kiloton.
And that's what I'm going to give you a video at the end, when I finally, in the 4th or 3rd video.
Eternal. It's an overpriced puzzle game with guns.
I've played this game. I've been this game on. So if you hear some noise in the background, I've played this game. I've been this game on Hurt Me Plenty once, been it on Ultraviolence twice, and been it on Nightmare twice, and I'm currently on my 3rd Nightmare run, which I'm currently on Cultist Base. So I would know if there was a puzzle, and there are no puzzles. Sure, you may have to hit one thing, then hit another, well, in less than 30 seconds, but that's nothing.
And not that much ammunition.
Well, they do that so that you have to use all your weapons, because in Doom 2016, you only needed to use the super shotgun, Gauss cannon, and the BFG, and save your chainsaw, just because you're probably afraid that there's a Baron they're gonna have to fight 5 minutes later, or a Mancubus, or something like that. Because that's why I like this. That's the change that I love about this game. They made a chainsaw rechargeable, and made quick ways of dealing with those enemies. They put them in weapons like the rocket launcher, BFG, Crucible, Onmaker, and those weapons. You just failed the easiest jump in the game. Even I could do that on my very first time playing the game, when I was terrible at the game. And because of how the game works and how the game is, I've gotten so good that I dominate battle mode, a mode that you didn't even give a shot at. Just really. You can't show gameplay this bad in a video criticizing a game, because that destroys your credibility as a game reviewer now, doesn't it? No. Just no.
Content warning. Some viewers may find the dreadful gameplay footage in this video deeply upsetting.
No, we don't. We actually love that you fail miserably, so now we can roast you and constantly mention how that obliterates your credibility as a game reviewer.
Viewer discretion is advised. Trigger warning. This video contains extensive criticism of this shithouse overpriced game.
Overpriced. This game came out 3 months ago. Sekiro came out 1 year ago, and Sekiro is still full price.
If opinions different from your own are going to hurt your fee-fees, then find a teat to suckle on, clutch your teddy bear tied to your own man-titties, and go and find some unboxing videos to watch. Consider yourself warned, fanboys.
So saying, all criticism for this video is from man-childs. When just I wonder how hypocritical that is, when you can't even do a jump that's that easy. All you have to do is just get onto the thing onto the launcher, jump up, shoot it, then dash twice. That's all you have to do.
Or fangirls, I'm not sexist. I should start by saying apologies for the short period of radio silence, and thank you for the expressions of concern. Obviously, there are some things going on in the world that required my attention. I've had to vacuum seal bags of food, set up a decon area at my back door,
No one cares.
refurbish a respirator, and barricade myself into my apartment. I think it's...
Well, you're gonna need those barricades. You definitely are too. And that's not even gonna stop the hatred that you got for this video in the comment section.
safe to say that I'm having the time of my fucking life. It's just a real shame that so many people had to get sick or die just to make my bad personal lifestyle choices become socially acceptable. I know factually that a lot of people who watch my channel have been affected negatively by what is going on in the world through sickness, economic impact or bereavement. You have my genuine sympathy and my thoughts are with you. But sadly,
After this video, you are gonna have no sympathy, even from your biggest simps.
for a lot of you, I am well. I wasn't kidnapped by Ubisoft, and now here we all are, and I have to review a video game that nearly everyone...
And are we sure you aren't well? Are we sure you don't have brain damage? Because you're making the special needs community look bad.
is saying is fucking brilliant. And frankly, I don't agree with the general groupthink going on at the moment. Honestly, I don't know if they paid off a lot of reviewers, or if they're...
Really? Oh my god, they paid us reviews! Wow, this is shocking information! No, idiot. They didn't pay us reviews because if they did pay us, because if they paid us reviews, people would be review bombing this game before de novo.
just all mental. Perhaps I'm mental. Equal odds on any of those scenarios.
You are.
So let's ease into this one gently, as a sheep farmer might say. I should at this point qualify that I am playing this on PC with mouse and keyboard. I'm shit at Doom, and I'm playing it on easy.
You're playing on the easiest difficulty. That destroys your credibility as a game reviewer, because now every bit of bad gameplay and bad decisions, now you can't destroy it. You can't say it's the game's fault. No, you're terrible at the game. Accept it. Accept that you have no talent.
Mode, because I'm not seeking anyone's validation or approval. Besides, last time I checked...
Well, oh, you should have gone and just tried to get good at the game so that the criticism that you get would not be as deserved.
being good at video games did not make me more attractive to women, nor indeed confer any discounts from the sort of women I have sex with. But before we delve into this shit pile, let's take a quick look at the history of the Doom franchise. A brief history of Doom. Once upon a time, on a desktop computer far, far away, id Software released the iconic and now legendary video game Doom. It was 1993. Most video games were a bit, well, shit. Then suddenly Doom arrives, and it is very literally a game changer. It was so far ahead of the fucking curve that it is literally still just about playable today. Keep in mind that this game burst on...
You tried punching a cyber demon. So, you're bad at the old games, which you're trying to do a brief history on, and you're bad at this game. Get out.
...to the scene in 1993, for fuck's sake. In Doom, you play the part of a soldier, made of about 36 pixels, and you proceed to kill monsters, made of slightly more pixels. Believe it or not, at the time the game was considered so violent, gory and satanic that there were genuine
We get it. We get it. You're old.
concerns that it would corrupt children and preface the beginning of an era of violent, satanic virtual reality
No, which we all know it clearly didn't.
games. Yeah, well, it's 30 years later, we still don't have flying cars, robot servants, or indeed VR technology that won't give you motion sickness and a sweaty head. So there is that. Doom spawned a franchise, and into the world many little Doom babies were born. Some were legitimate sequels. Doom 2, Hell on Earth, Final Doom, Doom 64, Doom 3, Doom RPG, Doom 3, Resurrection of Evil, Doom 2 RPG, Doom 3 BFG Edition, Doom VFR, Doom, and now Doom Eternal. Some were illegitimate or categorised as Doom clones, Rise of the Triad, System Shock, and allegedly Doom influenced LucasArts' first-person shooter Dark Forces, according to the Wikipedia entry I read about 7 minutes ago. Credit where credit is due. System Shock was technically a Doom clone, and that game was fucking epic in its own right. But I think it's fair to say that Doom had an incredible impact on first-person shooters, and to some degree, there is definitely a historic pre- and post-Doom era of video game development. The original Doom was ahead of the curve, whereas Doom Eternal is the exact opposite. It's so generic, derivative, and frankly safe that it's far behind.
Generic and safe. Generic and safe. If this game was generic and safe, why aren't there loot boxes, microtransactions, a battle pass that you have to pay for, or just be really sweaty to succeed to get like five skins or something like that? Because I'm clear, because we all know what game I'm talking about.
Curve and fails to be original and groundbreaking. It's like
Be original and groundbreaking. Doom 2016 was original and groundbreaking. Doom Eternal is that with things that make the game so much better, like dashing and puzzles that, and well, I shouldn't really say puzzles because I know these videos are unscripted, so I'm gonna slip up sometimes. And just whenever, just if you hear one of those noises, it's only because I'm trying to breathe into the built-in microphone.
exact opposite. It's so generic, derivative, and frankly safe that it's far behind the curve.
And what I was trying to say was, the game is far from that. We get tons of original things like boss fights that are actual boss fights and aren't just enemies that are slightly stronger. Because that's what a game is supposed to be. Because the final boss of the game, the Icon of Sin, you have to use all your skills and knowledge of the game just to beat it, and that's a great boss fight.
Fails to be original and groundbreaking. It's like fucking Boeing getting up in the morning tomorrow and announcing they're going to make a biplane, only their biplane will have a heads-up display, fly-by-wire controls, and anti-radar paint. Nothing wrong with that. I like biplanes too, especially flash ones with lots of fancy
Why are you talking about that in a Doom review? That makes no sense. That's weird. Just, you're supposed to review the game, no, not talk about that. And that's not a good. That's not even a good comparison.
gadgets, but it's still the wrong fucking century to be banging them out of the factory on.
Oh, just thought someone was walking into my room.
Mass. And right here is the thing of note. Bethesda used to be famous for great games. Now they are
Bethesda did nothing. All they did was give its software money, say, and slap their name on there. That's all they did. Because if Bethesda made this, there would be a cringy and glitch and battle mode. No, battle mode would be battle royale. That's what I was trying to say, not battle mode, because battle mode was really good and was really good, fun, and if you use all your abilities in a smart, correct way, it's a ton of fun.
Famous pretty much for three main things. Fallout 76.
You're you're trying to you're actually trying to say Bethesda made this game, even though you're just ignoring its software. I mean, all Bethesda did was slap the name on it and give its software money.
Todd Howard and Pete Hines bullshitting their fans, then going whiny boo-hoo in interviews because people are meanies for calling them liars just because they're always lying. And lastly, releasing endless remakes, rehashes and alternate versions of the same damn game. And when I say same damn game, I mean the same damn game with the same damn fucking bugs. Skyrim is now released on every single imaginable system, platform and mobile gadget. The normal version, the special versions, the VR versions.
Did you just? It sounds like you're trying to stitch together an idea for one video into a Doom Eternal review, and you're just desperately trying to fit in there.
And they are all still as buggy as the first version. Into this maelstrom of recycled IP, Bethesda now releases yet another Doom sequel.
Yet another Doom sequel. They released Doom 2016 in 2016 and Doom Eternal in 2020. Yes, 4 years apart. Wow, they are throwing them out. Bethesda is the new EA. Wow, they are going crazy.
Personally, I think they have been inspired by Activision releasing a new Call of Duty every year and thought, hey, why don't we crank out a new iteration of Doom regularly? It was 4 years since the last passable Doom bowel movement.
You call it a passable bowel movement. Yes, a passable bowel movement. I mean, just look at all the reviews, play the game, and don't do what this guy did, because this guy, he is worse than the game journalist who couldn't even beat the tutorial of Cuphead. I think his name was Dean something, and he couldn't even jump over over chains. Yes, he couldn't even do that. You're worse than him.
And mark my words, the next Doom title will be along much sooner than that. So what is Doom Eternal exactly? Doom Eternal is the single and multiplayer, vaguely playable, always online asset flip of Dooms of...
It's not an asset flip. It's made in a new engine, so they can't do an asset flip. Why do you think EA keeps spamming FIFA games every year? Just get out of the way and back to what I'm talking about. And there's a reason why EA keeps spamming games. They can just keep flipping the assets of a game that they made years ago. And why do you think this game took 4 years to make? Because I mean, it's clearly not an asset and always online. No, you can go the entire game without even touching the multiplayer. And at worst, all you get for not doing that is some XP.
Bait only with super light RPG character progression and a little base camp where you can keep your dollies. It's a Doom game using Doom assets where they try to be a little bit different with the doominess. It is vaguely what it says on the tin. In fact, the only thing shocking about the tin is that it says 50 fucking quid on it.
It came out 3 months ago. And what I said earlier, Sekiro came out a year ago, and it's still full of price. So, and with your same terrible logic, then people will be screaming about Sekiro's price.
And they want an additional 25 fucking quid for everything in the tin, and another 25 quid for the year 1 DLC part.
Really? So, you try to say that the deluxe edition, which has the 1 year pass, you're saying that it doesn't actually have that. It's just. So you're saying that the issue that. So then the deluxe edition would be pointless. So what you're desperately trying to make it sound like is just to get the 1 year pass, you have to pay $100 just to get the 1 year pass. Congratulations. And I'm gonna start a new flawless logic count. And flawless logic.
I'm going to assume you are way ahead of me here when I boldly assert that it is not worth £100 for the whole game.
Yes, it is. This game is well worth it. I mean, I've been playing this game non-stop since I got it, and it is a ton of fun. And I'll save all that for a review if I decide to.
It's great that it does what it says on the tin, but for £100, even if Emma Appleton jumped out of said tin when I opened it and gave me a fucking blowjob right there, afterwards I would still expect there to be a game in the tin as part of the deal. No offence, Emma, but £100 for a generic video game sequel is, as they say in Latin, taking the fucking piss. In Doom Eternal, you bounce around like a literal physical parkour manifestation of the adder-rolled pubescent mindscape of many of the players playing it. Bounce, shoot, bounce, shoot, bounce, shoot. Pound more adder-roll, rinse and fucking repeat. There is a PvP multiplayer battle mode, which I did.
It's battle mode, not battle mode. Let's just go back to get everything I missed. Go.
Bounce, shoot. Pound more adder manifestation of the adder-rolled pubescent mindscape of many of the players.
So you're criticizing a Doom game for mobility.
Playing it. Bounce, shoot. Pound more adder-roll. Rinse and fucking repeat. There is a PvP multiplayer battle mode, which I did not play. Basically, you get to pick a side and go through.
Basically, you're not a real game reviewer. Because an actual game reviewer would give everything that the game gives you a shot. Because that's what you're supposed to do as a game reviewer. But because you didn't do it, it destroys your credibility even more.
3 on 3 as either a slayer or a demon. I'm sure it's positively load, which I did not play. Basically, you get to pick a side and go 3 on 3 as either a slayer.
3 on 3? Do you know how unbalanced that would be? Yes, 3 slaves versus 3 demons. And do you know the ballista matches would be 30 seconds
Or a
at
demon.
longest.
I'm sure it's positively lovely, but probably worthy of a separate dedicated review, preferably made by someone who actually gives a fuck about Doom PvP. Because let's face it, most of us don't. We bought this for the campaign and the single player, and that is both tiresome and frustrating in equal measure.
Like, it's tiresome and frustrating. You're playing on the easiest difficulty. A difficulty that 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 is that is intended for 7-year-olds. You're playing on a difficulty intended for 7-year-olds, and you said it's frustrating. You are worse than Dean something.
Graphics, sound, and functionality. It's definitely not high drain on the old graphics hamster wheel. Running it on a slightly above average system, I could clearly see all of the flying eyeballs and cookie cutter recycled game assets on my screen. The best non-scientific benchmark I can give you is this. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare, on warm days, I hear my fans kick into a higher level. With Doom Eternal, I didn't even bother updating my drivers when I started playing it because I couldn't be fucked, and it still ran like a peach. The graphics is executed with a level of efficiency and economy so that they run like a greased cat, but still manage to look very visually busy and detailed enough. In fact,
You can jump just jump on there. That's all you have to do. Just swing. That's it.
the visual eye candy that your face is bombarded with is impressive enough that someone standing behind you watching you play this in an internet cafe could easily be tricked into thinking you were enjoying the experience. You know, it looks like the other recent Doom game, basically. Well, what does anyone expect? It's made on the cheap, with the exact same palette of developer assets, and probably the same
You're criticizing the game. You're acting like there's an asset swap when no, it's in a different engine. You can't do an asset swap, and that's why EA keeps spamming sports games, because they know that if they use the same engine, they can spam a game every year and make a ridiculous amount of money from it.
developers. I thought the sound effects were very pleasant, like someone grabbed a bag of guns, a baseball bat, a claw hammer, and a microphone, and went down to their local cooperative coffee shop, turned around the close sign, and spent a few days brutally slaughtering the hipsters whilst recording every little detail of the carnage. And yes, that visual imagery would be more in keeping with the heritage of Doom. Certainly more in keeping with tradition than this puzzle box platformer. The key rebinding was very...
You're saying that game has puzzles when no, there were the puzzles. The closest things to puzzles were hit this, hit this. That to continue. That's not really a puzzle. That's just 2 buttons.
straightforward and unproblematic, which is frankly quite rare these days, in these days of cheap console ports. But let's keep this in perspective. This is a game with no crouch or reload. It's not exactly a tactical shooter.
You just you just said that it wasn't a tactical shooter because you can't crouch. And what was the other thing?
In these days of cheap console ports. But let's keep this in perspective. This is a game with no crouch or reload. It's not exactly a tactical...
The chainsaw replaces all those terrible reload animations that I hate reload animations. they slow the game down like a lot. I mean, it's just you have to you have to you have to move around, try to dodge try to dodge the bullets while you're doing a 15-second reload animation that takes forever just so you can fire a shotgun that only has one or two shots.
Shooter, I just about managed to find all 4 of the important keys and rebind them. Move forward, jump, shoot, and melee. But you could probably rebind the controls onto a tracker ball and a giant red buzzer without
Well, I would actually say Senza, the YouTuber who, if you don't know who Senza is, he's the guy who beat Borderlands 3 with a Nintendo Power Glove. I would actually like to see him try that. That'd be funny.
significantly impeding the quality of the experience. So what about the NPCs? There were some. There were the big floaty around things, the spider things, the piss weak things, and those dicks.
You're trying to say that the enemies were forgettable. No, that they clearly weren't. And the enemies, they acted like what you would expect in the armies of hell to act like. Have enemies that tank your bullets so that the other enemies that do high damage melee attacks can sneak up on you and kill you. And support demons that can help out other demons and resurrect them and block your rocket launcher shots and your glory kills and dashes and all that. That's what an army. That's what the armies of hell should and would be doing in Doom.
That keep running at you. Apparently, they are each susceptible to different types of weapon attacks. If I had actually had any fucks to give about learning the game, I possibly could have.
Wait, so you didn't even bother learning the game? Oh. And that's gonna end it here. And go check out the next video, and I'll see you all later. Get ready.